Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our new lesson, a new lecture for the subject of accounting, second paper from the chapter of 6, and that is the analysis of financial statement. In ordinations, it is called ratio analysis. This is the lecture number 5 for this chapter, and it is also applicable for the class of 11 and 12 business studies group of students. This lecture is conducted by me. This is Mahmoud Hussain, lecturer in accounting, English media morning shift, Rajaguttura Model College, Dhaka. Dear students, now you can take your accounting learning workbook level 2 and your accounting practice copy for writing the solution of the creative question. Dear students, now you can open the page number 415 from your accounting second paper book, that is the accounting learning workbook level 2. This is the exercise number 9. Just I read it for time being, this question. The following balance sheet of Samrat Company Limited as on 31st December 2017. There are two sides saying balance sheet or financial position. In left side, liabilities. Equity share capital is stack of 5 lakh. Balance of retained earnings is stack of 1,25,000. 10% mortgage loan stack of 1 lakh. Notes payable taka 20,000, accounts payable taka 80,000, general reserve taka 50,000, total amount of liabilities and equities taka 8,75,000. In right side there is the asset amount. Fixed asset taka 4,80,000, cash in hand taka 75,000, bank balance taka 40,000, accounts receivable taka 90,000. Closing inventory taka 1,10,000, preliminary expenses taka 50,000, bills receivable taka 30,000. That is the total amount of assets is taka 8,75,000. Dear students, I repeat again. This is the page number 415 from this chapter. Today I will solve the creative question number 9. I have already read out the balance sheet and other information is available. Total sales of the year taka 10 lakh in bracket 30% cash. That is 70% on credit, so total sales amount. Total purchase taka 7 lakh in bracket 20% cash, that is 80% on credit amount of this purchase amount. And net profit after tax taka 1 lakh. Now requirement A, determine the amount of external liabilities and internal liabilities. External liabilities and internal liabilities. B, requirement B, calculate the debt equity ratio, payable turnover ratio, capital employed turnover ratio. Requirement C, net profit ratio, return on capital employed, receivable turnover ratio, and owner's equity ratio. Dear students, I think you have taken your accounting learning workbook level 2 and accounting practice copy. Dear students, now we can start our solution of this method of this creative question. Dear learners, okay, you can write your accounting practice copy. Put the solution of exercise 9 from 415 page. First one, external liabilities and internal liabilities. Okay, external liabilities from the rules and regulations of ratio. You can get external liabilities is equal to current liabilities plus long-term liabilities. In this question, two current liabilities are available. Number 1, notes payable. Number 2, accounts payable. So total amount of current liabilities is taka 1 lakh in this system, and long-term liabilities, only one item is available of long-term liabilities, that is 10% mortgage loan, the amount taka 1 lakh. So it is easily you can get total amount of external liabilities is taka 2 lakh, current liabilities 1 lakh, long-term liabilities 1 lakh, total amount of external liabilities is taka 2 lakh. In requirement A, the second one, internal liabilities. You know, internal liabilities is equal to shareholders' equity minus fictitious asset. In this system, 3 items are available in shareholders' equity and 1 item is available for fictitious asset. Now you can take from the system 3 items for equity, that is the amount of share capital, balance of retained earnings, and general reserve. Only fictitious assets is available, that is the amount of preliminary expenses. So take the amount for 5 lakh for share capital from the stem, 1,25,000 for balance of retained earnings, taka 50,000 for general reserve. So total equity is taka 6,75,000. And fictitious asset, that is the amount of preliminary expenses, so net amount of internal liabilities is taka 6,25,000. I repeat again, internal liabilities is taka 6,25,000. Okay, dear students, I think you have written in your accounting practice copy. Dear boys and girls, now you can take the requirement B. Okay, you can go to the next slide for solution of requirement B. The first ratio is debt equity ratio. And the requirement B, 3 ratios are available. Number 1, debt equity ratio. Second one, payable turnover ratio. Number 3, capital employed turnover ratio. The first one, debt equity ratio. You know from the formulas of ratios, debt equity ratio is equal to external liabilities divided by internal liabilities. External liabilities, from the requirement A, we can take it the amount of 2 lakh for an external liabilities, and internal liabilities, it is also, we can get from the requirement A, internal liabilities, that is the amount of 6,25,000. So debt equity ratio is equal to 2 lakh divided by 6,25,000 is equal to 0.31:1. This is the answer of debt equity ratio. This is the satisfactory moment. You know, the standard of debt equity ratio is 0.33:1, but in this math 0.31:1. So the satisfactory moment for this ratio of Samrat Company Limited, their liabilities is decreasing day by day. This is the good thinking. Okay, next ratio, then is the payable turnover ratio. It's another name, creditors turnover ratio. Payable turnover ratio is equal to credit purchase divided by average payable. In this question, other information purchase amount total 7 lakh but 20% cash, that is 80% on credit of 7 lakh, that is the amount of credit purchase taka 5 lakh 60,000. And above is payable, only two payable are opening available in the liability side, on the notes payable and accounts payable, but no amount for opening payable. From the rules and regulations of ratio, if opening payable or opening item is not available, then closing item is equal to average item. So average payable is equal to notes payable for taka 20,000 plus accounts payable for taka 80,000 is equal to taka 1 lakh. As opening payable is unavailable, and this is the other information. So now you can take in the ratio 5 lakh 60,000 for credit purchase divided by 1 lakh for average payable is equal to 5.6 times. This is the payable turnover ratio in this system. Dear students, I think you have written in your accounting copy. Now you can go third one for requirement B, capital employed turnover ratio. Capital employed turnover ratio is equal to net sales divided by capital employed. Net sales, and that is the amount of total sales, is taka 10 lakh. As no sales return or no sales discount available, so total sales is equal to net sales, that is the amount of 10 lakh. From other information we got. And capital employed, capital employed is equal to total assets except fictitious asset minus current liability. In this math, total asset side is taka 8,75,000, but it's included one item for fictitious asset, that is the preliminary expenses for taka 50,000. So net assets taka 8,25,000 minus current liability. In this system, two current liabilities are available, notes payable and accounts payable. Notes payable for taka 20 and accounts payable taka 80,000. So total amount of current liabilities is taka 1 lakh. So capital employed is equal to 8,75,000 minus 50,000 minus 1 lakh is equal to taka 7,25,000. I repeat again, capital turnover ratio is equal to net sales divided by capital employed is equal to 10 lakh divided by 7,25,000 is equal to 1.38 times. This is the answer for capital turnover ratio. Dear students, now we can go to the requirement number 3 for solving the 4 ratios. First one, net profit ratio, second one, return on capital employed ratio, third one, receivable turnover ratio, and fourth one, owner's equity ratio. So the first one, net profit ratio, this is the very easy ratio. Net profit ratio is equal to net profit divided by net sales into 100. Net profit after tax from the other information is taka 1 lakh, and net sales from the other information also taka 10 lakh. So 1 lakh for net profit after tax and 10 lakh for net sales. And 1 lakh divided by 10 lakh into 100, and that is 10% of net profit ratio in this system. Okay, dear students, please write down very carefully in your accounting practice copy. Okay. The second ratio for requirement C, return on capital employed ratio. This is the very, very important ratio in the ratio chapter or analysis of financial statement. Return on capital employed ratio. Return on capital employed ratio is equal to net profit after tax, that is NPAT, plus interest. Net profit after tax plus interest divided by capital employed into 100. So net profit after tax is available in the other information taka 1 lakh plus interest taka 10,000. You can see in the liability size 10% mortgage loan of taka 1 lakh. So this is interest on mortgage loan taka 1 lakh into 10%, that is the amount of 10,000. So interest took from these items. Net profit after tax 1 lakh plus interest 10,000 and divided by capital employed. In requirement B, you can get capital employed is the amount of taka 7,25,000. So return on capital employed ratio is equal to 1,10,000 divided by 7,25,000 into 100. That is the ratio of 15.17%. That is the approximate value. You know, standard of return on capital employed ratio is 10 to 15%, but in this math 15.17% is available. So this ratio is very satisfactory moment for this company, that is Samrat Company Limited. Dear students, number 3, receivable turnover ratio is another name, debtors turnover ratio. Receivable turnover ratio is equal to net credit sales divided by average receivable. Net credit sales from other information is available. Total sales taka 10 lakh, but in bracket 30% cash, so 70% on credit sales. So 70% of 10 lakh, that is the amount of net credit sales 7 lakh in this system. And average receivable in this math, 2 receivable are available for closing item. Accounts receivable is taka 90,000 and bills receivable taka 30,000. So total receivable, closing receivable taka 1,20,000. But you know, average receivable is equal to opening receivable plus closing receivable divided by 2. But in this method, opening receivable is unavailable, so average receivable is equal to closing all receivable. So you can take account receivable for taka 90 and bills receivable taka 30,000 for average receivable 1,20,000. Now you can write in the ratio, receivable turnover ratio is equal to 7 lakh divided by 1,20,000 is equal to 5.833 times. Receivable turnover ratio is equal to 5.833 times. This is the last one for this ratio. Is math requirement C, owner's equity ratio. Owner's equity ratio, that equity ratio. From the formulas we can get owner's equity ratio is equal to equity divided by assets. Equity means shareholders' equity. From the requirement A, internal liabilities means owner's equity. So total shareholders' equity is equal to 6,25,000 divided by total assets means except fictitious asset. You can see in the stamp total assets, so 8,75,000 and 50,000 for fictitious amount for preliminary expenses. So dear students, you can take 8,25,000 for net assets. Now you can write in the ratio, owner's equity ratio is equal to 6,25,000 divided by 8,25,000. So result is 0.76:1. 0.76:1. Dear students, I think you've understood all the maths of ratios like exercise 9. I have tried best, but it depends on you. If you practice much and more at your home and in each and every math, then you will overcome. And this chapter, this is the ratio analysis. And let's have important ratios. If you are memorized, then you can solve all the ratios questions very easily. Dear students, in this math totally 7 ratios are available. First one, debt equity ratio, second one payable turnover ratio, third one capital employed turnover ratio, fourth one net profit ratio, fifth one return on capital employed ratio, sixth one receivable turnover ratio, and last one owner's equity ratio. Dear students, I think you have understood. That's all for being today. Inshallah, I will come to take another lesson from your syllabus, from your accounting learning workbook level 2. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.